Hello, YouTubers. This is Sweet City Girl. I know it's been quite some time since I posted, and I definitely want to send a shout out to MA Girl NJ2 for your motivational comment today. Where are you? I realized that there was no reason this morning why I should not get up and go ahead and post a video. So unfortunately, I've just been busy with other life stuff, with work and school, and that's why I haven't been able to make the time really to make a video. But I definitely wanted to start with thanking everyone who sent in their comments and their suggestions. I definitely took it all to heart. I kept in mind Wendy's comment on my mental attitude, and I do realize that I can be hard on myself, and I honed in on that, and I made sure that I made a conscious effort to change my frame of mind when I would come to, when I get on the scale and so forth. I just kept thinking of it as a bigger picture and not focusing so much on the short-term progress. So thank you for that. So on to the good stuff. Where am I today? So stats, I'm just shy of 90 days. My 90 days would be in 2 days, July the 26th. So I'm happy to report that I am down 20 pounds. So I'm really excited about that. I've lost several inches off of my waist, about 2 or 3 inches, which is really great when you got to make another hole on your belt. So I'm down to 3 new holes on my belt, so that's pretty cool. I still have had some time, and it's time management issues on getting back to the gym. I know that's really not an excuse, so please, I know it's not an excuse. So I will be getting back to the gym because though I've seen some weight loss, in the last month or so, without going to the gym, I definitely haven't seen inches. So I know I have to go back and make sure I start working on those inches again. So I went to my doctor's visit this last Tuesday, a few days ago, and it was time for my second fill. So this is an interesting take, and if you guys could just let me know what has been your experience with that. So I went for my second fill, and I let the doctor know basically what had been going on. I was very honest. I felt like I was in a confessional, really. I let him know that I had stopped going to the gym for about a month, that I had been cheating. I got down on myself because I wasn't seeing the scale move. So then I went ahead and I was like, well, why not have a cookie here or juice here and this, that, the other. So I was definitely taking in a lot of unnecessary calories. I had stopped the protein shake because I couldn't bring myself to drinking 300 calories in the morning. I couldn't do it. It was a psychological block. So I had stopped doing that. So I let them know everything. More importantly, he was just like, are you getting full when you eat, or are things getting stuck? And no, I think I can count, maybe I've had 3 situations where I felt that I was, that something was stuck. It didn't cause PVing or anything like that. It definitely didn't come up. It would usually happen with bread or when I was eating too fast because I was just really hungry. So, and usually it would last literally less than a minute. I'd take a drink of water and it would go down. So I explained that to him as well, and basically his take was I had been there 6 weeks prior for my first fill, which was 5 cc's, and this time around I had lost about 10 to 11 pounds in 6 weeks. So he was just like, your weight loss progress is really good. There's no need for a fill. I was very disappointed. I'm here looking forward to the fill. It's a tool, and I need the tool to help me because I realize that I am still able to eat, for example, about a cup and a half of cooked rice, the proteins. I'm still able to eat very well. A cup of a chicken and things like that. And to be honest, I don't know. I think it's too much. Sometimes I can really just pile it all in, and though my full sensor goes off, I'm just like, well, let me eat this now because later I might be too busy. And I did realize that I was going back to some of my op days where I would eat to kind of hoard the food in case my day would get really busy and I wouldn't have time to eat. So I've been definitely been mindful in getting back to eating the right things and eating a snack in between if I do get hungry. Keeping the metabolism going. So I'm getting back into that. So with all those factors, I guess they all equaled. You don't need a fill. So here I am at 5 cc's, and he did say to go back and see him in a month, and I guess we'll see how it goes. I think I could really use the help, and I'd like to eat a bit less. For example, there are these small cheese quesadillas, steak quesadillas, closed up. Maybe they're about the size of my hand, and I can eat 2 of those like nobody's business. And I think for a lap band patient, that's a lot. How are you stuffing those 2 things on there? And then of course, 3 or 4 hours later, I'm starting to feel that craving. So we'll see how it goes in 2 months. That's how we're doing there. Everything else is it's going along. Like I said, I'm definitely going back to the gym. It's good because some coworkers who they're consultants, so they're in the office once a week, and when they see me, they're like, "Oh my God, you're looking good." So it's nice. I'm finally, as one needs, the reassurance right from your peers. But it's just nice to have people point it out. Definitely at the end of the video, I'm going to go ahead and post a pre-op picture. When I was considering, when I started looking into the weight loss surgery option, and then one picture of just last week. Granted, I am wearing a shaper, so it could be a little deceiving, but the first one I was wearing a shaper too, so I guess we can take that into consideration. But yeah, that's what's going on. Again, thank you so much, everyone, for all your support and your help. I'm getting back on the wagon, if you will. So I'm getting myself back to the gym and making it happen. Oh, the other thing before I go, I definitely wanted to ask you guys and see what your situation was with this. I find it that I lose a significant amount of weight right after my period. I've been eyeballing this already for 2 months now. So I could be steady. I was steady at like 286. This is my last menstrual cycle. And sure enough, we're going to say maybe about the 7th day after my cycle, I dropped like 5 or 6 pounds. Like, where were these pounds? Where did they go? I don't understand. So it'd be great if you guys can let me know if this happens to you too. So obviously, I understand that before your cycle, you probably won't lose. You're retaining water and so forth. But it's just something like this, that right after my cycle, they just fall off, and that's what happened with my previous cycle as well. I mentioned it to the doctor. He didn't make a comment of, he's just like, you're losing weight. So, but I was just wondering what that was about. I think I'm going to have to go online and try to Google some stuff and see what comes up. But again, thank you guys, everybody, for your support. I'm actually going to go online now and check on how everyone is doing. I hope you guys are doing great and well. I encourage you to keep going on this weight loss challenge struggle, if you will. And thank you very, very much for your support and checking up on me. You guys take care. Bye.